Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. I've not been more excited about a live performance in years. And that's because of this amazing cultural implication that metal just paired with opera to open the Paris Olympics. Like those two genres, that's my jam. I'm so excited to hear this for the first time and analyze it with y'all. I've been saving it for this moment and I refuse to wait one more second. So let's get to it.
Ça ira. Les aristocrates à la lanterne. Ça ira. Les aristocrates, on les pendra.
I love the energy from this, and I love the sound of the crowd in the background is just like going crazy because they feel that energy. You have no idea how hard it has been for me to save watching this. Because from the moment that I heard the news that Gojira and an opera singer were joining forces, I was like, oh, what? Are you kidding me? No way. The two vocal styles I am most obsessed with are gonna come together. No way. So obviously we're gonna get way into the vocals of this. But first things first, I understand that this is set it's architecturally, this is the prison that Marie Antoinette was held. And Ça ira is gonna be referencing essentially a revolution song. These first bits, I think this is our mezzo soprano, by the way. I'm not positive though, because we'll wait to hear more singing here, but she's the only other singer that I've heard credited that's a female in this. The words at the beginning they're a bit intense, right? It's like, we're gonna go hang some aristocrats. It's like, whoa, are you kidding me? But it'll all be fine. Ça ira. Like it will go. It's gonna be okay, basically is what that's saying. It's a moment of hope in French Revolution when you look back at it, but at the same time, there's a lot of violence around that. I think that the intensity of the French Revolution is something that is perfect to cover with metal. Back to the beginning.
Ça ira. Les aristocrates à la lanterne. Ça ira. Les aristocrates, on les pendra.
She's saying the aristocrats will hang right there, in case you weren't sure about that translation. Also, wow, this is such a cool setup. I'm guessing that she's probably sideways and has the thing put on top of her there. But oh my gosh, I love that. And also I love the setup of them playing in the windows and just like on the side of this building. So cool.
Ça ira. Les aristocrates à la lanterne. Ça ira. Les aristocrates, on les pendra.
Epic choir, massive drums, yes. Thank goodness for harnesses. Oh man. I just want to point out Mario, who's our drummer here, and he's such a great drummer. He's one of the metal drummers that I particularly like to listen to. Can become very complicated in a lot of his patterns, but there's so much drive as well behind in his drumming. I feel that a lot of the sound of Gojira is really determined by his drumming. It stands out because of his drumming. It's pretty fantastic. So there's just like as if we weren't revved up enough, we have a nice little quick pitch slide up to get us revved up even more. Ooh. Oh man, I wish we could hear Joe better there. You have no idea how difficult it has been to try and find a source video that didn't have tons of commentary on it. I know because I have team members that have been searching for this for like 5 days since it came out. So we've even sourced the community. We've asked so many people in different socials looking for a clip that I could actually analyze. I wish we could hear Joe better here. I think that probably in just for whatever reason in this clip, we don't have his volume mixed high enough. I'm going to listen a little bit more, and then if we don't get a little bit more volume on him at one point, I'll back it up probably to this, where we get 111, and talk about some of the qualities of his voice you can try and listen more deeply for. It's got definite elements of Carmina Burana in there. Heck yeah. That's Marina. All right, that cleared something up very, very well for me. So the very first singer, I do not believe was Marina. This sounds like our true mezzo soprano operatic style. However, the first voice did sound like there was some nice vocal training behind it. It was just a different kind of approach. And specifically, the first voice that we hear, I'm going to go back and forth and toggle between these two. The first voice that we hear, she's singing in her chest voice at that point. That means that she has a lot more TA engagement, thyroretinoid engagement. And when her vocal folds go wacka, 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 which is what happens when you create a pitch, basically your breath comes up from underneath here, goes past the vocal folds, they go wacka, 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 and that creates a pitch because it's dividing air really quickly. Our ears perceive that. So to do concert, which is the note that an orchestra plays a tune on, your vocal folds go wacka, wacka, wacka 440 times per second. So that's around what she's sung some notes in that range, I think, at this point. So just know her vocal folds are moving very, very quickly to create a sound like that. And there are different muscles inside of here that can create different kinds of timbres with your vocal folds. If you have your thyroretinoid muscle more engaged, when it comes up, it tends to be thicker as the air is going through the entire connection, and the ligament there essentially is just thicker. So it makes a heavier kind of sound. And if you have more CT, the cords are stretched longer. Like think about stretching a rubber band. When it's stretched longer like that, it creates a lighter sound. And that's more like what we're hearing with Marina at this point. So let's just go back and compare these two sounds, and then we'll keep going some. So here. Right. So this is chest voice, right? It's a much heavier kind of sound. And it just feels like more beefy, like more hefty overall versus. Right? Right, a lot heftier. And then we come over here. What was it here? actually sounded like she might have done a little mixed in there at one point, but overall we have a fluffier sound, a little lighter, even though there's more vibrato in it. It has a lighter overall texture. I'll go back to the beginning of her entrance. This is so wonderful. I love the entire soundscape right here. Like, this is the definition of epic for me. I want huge voices, and voices can be huge in so many different ways. Yes, opera has huge voices. I know. I've done it. I've sung it. I've performed it around the world. Opera voices are huge. I love that about opera too. I love it when I'm like standing next to another person on stage and I can just feel my bones rattling. It's such a great experience. Metal voices can also be huge. I've never heard Joe's voice acoustically, so I don't know volume-wise if we're gonna have like the same volume comparison between these two people. I wouldn't be surprised if they were pretty close. But Joe's voice to me is huge in the fact that it has incredible depth in the tone quality of the pitch. Okay, so he's got pitch underneath it that is lower, and it has like a certain profoundness to it. He's definitely a lower voice sitting male. But then in addition to that, he adds this incredible distortion on top, which I've become obsessed with. I really am fascinated about how singers create different types of distortion. And in his case, it sounds like he has the pitch being created by his true vocal folds. And then above that, there's this grit, this gravel that is it has a consistency to it. It sounds so definitively separate from his true folds as well. So it sounds like to me, like he has a structure that is creating pitch, and then another structure in his larynx that is creating this distortion. I'm going to go back a little bit. See if you can listen specifically for, in Joe's voice, what that pitch is, and then sort of the disturbance, and separate those two sounds. Just know that those are created by two different structures. You can hear it better right there. There especially. And just in case you're wondering, a lot of people come to me and they have this idea, which I had for years as well, that what Joe is doing right now is hurting his voice. And we know that's not true. It's this is really important to me because for years and years and years, if I heard somebody screaming or adding that much gravel on their voice, I thought that they were making their vocal folds bleed. No. That's my big response is no. If you do it the wrong way, if you do anything singing the wrong way, it can damage your voice. But we have research now that shows that this can be done in a very, very healthy and sustainable way. We have proof of artists doing this their entire career, and they're still singing. They're not seeking treatment, saying, oh, I'm losing my voice. Pop artists lose their voices more than metal artists do, I swear. No, this is really important. Like, when people are making these gritty, harsh vocal sounds, it does not mean that they are hurting their voice. And while we have research that we've done some on pilot studies and some cases, and we've identified that there are ways to do this in a healthy way, we are expanding that research much more fully now. And if you want to learn more about that, I'll put some links down below. You can check it out. There are ways to do this in a very, very healthy, sustainable manner. That right there. check out his whole body supporting that sound. Ooh, oh my gosh. Okay. I'm going to nerd out extra here for a little bit as if you weren't nerding already. He has a lot going on in his throat right here, right? We see a lot of extrinsic muscles is what we call that, extrinsic muscles outside of the like they're not inside your larynx, they're outside your larynx. This is one of the areas that actually needs to be studied the most. We have so little data on it, but it appears like people who are making harsh vocal sounds, we see a little bit more action here. I have a theory that that is because there's a lot more breath pressure that's needed to make multiple sources in your throat vibrate. This is a theory. It's one I want to prove or disprove. I'm open to either idea, but it is a trend that we see, more extrinsic muscle engagement. That's not necessarily a bad thing, y'all, by the way. That's not something we love to see in pure clean singing, like what Marina's been doing here. We don't really love to see lots of extrinsic muscle engagement, but we see it as a trend in many high-performing and long-performing harsh vocalists. Yay! Yay, we had like a sliding screen there. Oh my gosh. I love these kinds of sliding screams especially. And one of the things that fascinates me so much about it is even like in research we've done in the last year, we've seen that the mouth shape affects the pitch center, this like sound of it sliding from lower to high. The mouth shape, like the different kinds of vowels and how the tongue is held, affects that pitch center a lot. That's something that is not the same as it is in clean singing. In clean singing, the pitch is going to be affected by the true vocal folds going wacka, 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 faster or slower. Now, with that harsh vocal, it's a different structure, and there are many structures, which we are studying, there are many structures above the true vocal folds that can make this kind of distorted, just pure distortion sound. This sounds like a very, it sounds upper to me. It sounds very, it sounds tighter. So that sound would be created, and then it's really the filter, source filter theory. That's a voice science thing. Look it up if you want to know more. Source filter. So after that, the sound as it's going through the mouth, it gets sent into different corners and marinated in different ways, depending on the shape of your lips and your tongue, your teeth, how much mouth opening you have. If your soft palate is down, it can come out through your nose, right? There's so many ways that that sound can get shifted. And how that is shifted can be, especially if you go from a longer vocal tract with your lips out, that would make a lower enhancement versus bringing them back and showing more teeth that would enhance higher pitches. So just the mouth shape helps to create the pitch center in harsh vocals. It's wild. This is such an amazing visual display. I rewound it too much, sorry. There it is. So cool. I love the chorus in here. That was it? Does this not look like blood just splattered? I'm like, this is definitely French Revolution moment here. Oh my gosh, what a visual. And once again, choir reminds me so much of Carmina Burana. I think that Carmina Burana is like the most metal of classical pieces. I love that we have some elements of that are combined into this truly metal opening. Give me blast beats, man. Ooh, I like the way they shifted the groove here. Were those streamers? I thought they were powder at first. Oh my gosh. Oh my word. This is so progressive. This is so progressive. So this is Gojira at its core, right? I feel that Gojira has so much like black in its sound. I like the way that they're often very socially pushing different issues. They stand for a lot of different things. Sort of like put their marker in for them. And I love that they are progressive in nature. So a lot of times we'll have unexpected twists and turns in the music. Here we had this major shift in the groove overall in the tempo. It feels like it's really expanded. The song just went in a totally different direction and it totally worked. What happened is we went from, oh my gosh, this is amazing, to jaws drop and awe to just pure drooling by the end. And there's the groove shift. What were dress rehearsals for this like? That's epic. I love it.
Oh my.
Yep. Oh my. Can we petition to take this song and get it expanded to be like at least 8 minutes long? Please. I want the full extended glorious edition of it. And I also just want to hear Joe's voice so much more. I look forward to hearing a beautifully mixed version. And in the meantime, if you want to hear some more analysis of Gojira and opera on the same playlist, check this out over here. May you fall more in love with music every day. Mwah!